Good morning. Today's message will come from the book of Job, chapter 1. Job, chapter 1, I read to you verses 13 through 22. Job 1:13 through 22. And there was a day when his sons and daughters was eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabaeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only alone have escaped to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and had burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I am alone, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The Chaldeans made out of 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the sword, with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking in their elder brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am alone to tell thee. I take my text this morning from verses 16 and 17 and 18, just the first sentence, and I'm going to only read it one time, but all three of them say the same thing at the beginning. While he was yet speaking, there came also another. While he was yet speaking, you heard me say that one thing after another, bad things was happening. They lost this died, this is killed, this is so one thing after another. And so this morning I want to talk a while about when bad things keep happening in our lives. When bad things keep happening in our life. I want you to know that I've been there. And I know and believe that you have been there. We probably all have been there before, because the Bible says man born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. When bad things keep happening. I want to speak a while about this because I want to know before I begin, can anyone relate to the topic today? One thing after another, one problem, one circumstance, one child, one situation, one vehicle, one appliance, one thing after another. I say this, I don't know how you answered that, but has anyone had to face the experience of when bad things keep happening over and over again? If you can't relate to this subject today, I guess you'll go ahead and free to go. If you haven't been there, you wouldn't understand. You can go ahead and be free to go. But I doubt that you haven't been there. Just in case someone is waiting for me, Pastor Caldwell, to leave, I ask you to remain on standby, because I'm going to be here for a while. Because as I said, I've gone through times and where it's been one thing after another. I've had my share of experiencing bad things happening. And not only that, church, we have to believe and know that they're not over with yet. As long as we live, trouble going to rise. As long as we live, problems going to rise. As long as we live, trials and tribulation going to come about. As long as we live, storms is going to happen. Not over with yet. We always seem to be handling this and something else had come up. The Bible say while they were yet speaking, something else happened. In my life, while we yet adjusting and adapting things to come through, as we was moving money around, as we was working on one problem, something else would come about. I say that to say this because I found that most people think that pastors and ministers are exempt from what they preach. Many of them believe that we don't have to go through anything, but I share with you today that on the most part, we are generally the main target for the most part, we're generally the main topic. You need to know that none of us are exempt from bad things happening in our life. Don't ever let the adversary tell you or make you believe that you are exempt. Nobody's exempt for bad things happening in our life. Songwriter states, as long as we live, trouble will arise when bad things keep happening. So many times in life, the adversary wants us to believe that it's something we've done, and we beat ourselves up wondering, what did I do? How did I get here? Why do I deserve to be treated like this? Why can't this be like that? Why come it can't be like the other family? Why come it can't be like this? So many times we turn the spotlight up on ourselves. But I want you to understand and hear these words today. The subject says when bad things keep happening, you need to know that good things God might be doing when bad things happen. Let me repeat that again, not double lines on my sermon text. So when there's double lines, I have to read it twice. We have to understand that there's some good things that God might be doing when bad things keep happening. Don't let the adversary tell you, make you believe it's you, make you believe that you've done something wrong, make you believe that you're not living right. Don't let him make you believe that you don't have a right relationship with God. Sometimes God may be doing some good things through the bad things that's happening in your life. I say that to say this, we can arise so that we can arise each day expecting something to come our way. The Bible tells us because we belong to God, we can expect trouble. The Bible also tells us that we can expect blessings. And we find out and we can expect those troubles just because. Just because. Have you ever heard that word, just because? Or let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a conflict or a situation with someone, maybe at the job, out in the world, maybe in the family, and you ask them, what have I done? Why come we can't get along? Why come you don't like me? Just because. Why come you treat me like just because? Just because. We have to understand in this life, we'll be faced with many just because. You're going through this just because. People are treating you like this just because. May not be nothing you done. Maybe that just because. In spite of all our troubles that we are subject to face, St. Matthew sends a assurance to us. St. Matthew chapter 5 verse 10 still promises us a blessing after our troubles. Isn't that good? We serve a mighty good God. So even though man born of a woman is of a few days full of trouble, we have to believe also that man born of a woman is of a few days and also full of blessings, because St. Matthew 5 and 10 tells us that blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Just because we belong to God, we can expect bad things to keep on happening. Just because we belong to God, good things God might be doing in the midst of those bad things happening in your life. But I want to say this, in the midst of our bad things coming our way, we need to know how to overcome. We need to know how to endure. We need to know how to hang in there and be stronger after the trouble have passed, knowing that after the storm, then come the rainbow. Our blessings come after our trouble sometime. Our blessings come sometime through our trouble. Preaching what God has given me to give to you today. When bad things keep happening. Seems like every day you turn the TV on, you look at your phone, it's one thing after the next, and there's no areas that exempt. Used to be places that you thought was mentor, places that you thought was ideal for setting good examples, expectation, even those places, even those people, one thing after another. Our government, our schools, our church, our homes, our jobs, our stores, our shops, wherever we go, it seems like there's one thing after another. Even driving down the highway, one thing after another. When bad things keep happening, we have to realize today God is wanting us to know that a rainbow, let me say it again, it had a double line, I forgot to say that, but a rainbow always come after the rain. Our blessing will come after our trouble. Sometimes God is trying to bless us through the bad things that we're going through. We're speaking about when bad things keep happening. I remember telling someone a while back I remember telling them that I don't mind bad things happening because this is a part of our earthly journey. But what pulls us down, what makes us feel sad, what brings tears to our eyes is when that same thing happens over and over again. When it's the same problem over and over again, when it's that same person over and over again, bring you down. When it's the same circumstance, the same situation. Somebody today may be going through something today. Somebody may be beating themselves up because of what the adversary is trying to make them believe. Somebody is not following God or keeping their hands in God's hand because they're going through some bad things, believing that they've done something wrong, something they're not living right, something they're not doing. Good things God might be doing when bad things happen. Keep that in mind. Carry that with you. There are some good things that God may be doing in your life, even in the midst when bad things are happening. So 2 things I want to point out today here, 2 points of interest that we need to recognize today that can bring us down, keep us down. And this is what make a Christian weak. The first thing is the devil's greatest strategy. He will use the same weapon over and over again. Have you been there? He will use the same weapon over and over again. Let me go ahead and say this. He will use that same person over and over again to get to you. He'll use that same problem over and over again to get to you. He'll use that same circumstance over and over again to get to you. He'll use that same sin over and over again to get to you. Just when you think you have won the battle, he'll use that same weapon over and over and over again. That same sin over and over again. That same problem, that same circumstance. It's one point. We need to recognize and be able to withstand every time it show up. That is the same weapon, the same problem. And be mindful of what the adversary is trying to do in our life. We as God's children, we need to be watchful. Watch as well as pray. Be watchful of the same situation. Satan should not be able to attack us over and over again using the same weapon. As we go through, we have to learn through our going through. Shouldn't be able to do that, but he does. This is why we should daily be dressed with the whole armor of God. Church, are you putting on the whole armor of God? The Bible says we have to put it on so that we'll be able to quench all the fiery darts of the devil. And you have to understand that he's throwing those darts every day. He's throwing them at me. He's throwing them at you. He's throwing them in this town. He's throwing them in your town. He's throwing them in that city, that country, that place. When we're able to recognize that Satan will use the same weapon over and over again, and to keep our hand, we keep our hand in God's hand, God will show you that no matter what weapons formed against you, they should not prosper. When those weapons are thrown against you over and over again, when we learn to keep our hands in God's hand, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Keeping God on our side, we're well able to overcome. Can't go a day without God. Can't never try it my way without God. Can't ever wait to see what's going to happen without God. We have to keep God on our side at all times. Then we're well able to overcome everything that come our way. Second point I want to leave with you today is we need to recognize that we'll constantly bring down a Christian is when Satan used what you love to bring bad things into your life. My Lord, let me say that again. This is a weapon. Two things. This is a weapon the adversary uses all the time. The second thing that he used that he is when Satan uses what you love to bring bad things into your life. One of the hardest struggles we have to face is when our adversary try to hurt us by what we love. Try to hurt us through our children, through our spouses, through our family. When he try to hurt us by what we love. When he try to hurt us by whom we love. We need to be reminded that Satan will use anything and anyone to steal your joy. He'll use anything and anyone to steal your peace. He'll use anything and everyone to bring you down. But just as the scripture said earlier, when our relationship is right with God, we're well able to overcome. Because one thing is certain, nothing should be able to separate it from the love of God. When our relationship is right with God, because one thing I want to leave with you, Jesus has promised to never leave us nor forsake us. No matter what we go through, no matter how many times we go through the problem, regardless how hard it gets. Say, don't you worry, I'll be there with you. Fire furnace, I'll be there with you. The lions, who's worried about the lions? I'll be there with you. The storms, the floods, I'll be there with you. Through the fire, I'll be there with you. Through the toughest time, toughest people, difficult times, I'll be there with you. I'm not going to stand by and tell you about it. I'm not going to stand by and tell you what to do and how to do. I'm going to go there with you. I'll meet you at your point of need. Nothing should be able to separate us from our God. He promised to never leave us nor forsake us. In all our ways, we are to acknowledge him, even in the midst of our problems, even in the midst of our troubles, even in the midst of trials and tribulations, even in the midst of things happening over and over again. Why you say that? Because good things God might be doing when bad things are happening. And all that we encounter in this life and all that we go through, we should always keep Jesus in the midst. Should always keep him first on the list. We should never leave out Jesus. He is too wise of a God. He is too powerful of a God. And most important, he's too good to be put on standby. He's too good to be left alone. He's too good to be put on the side. Sometimes we are reminded that our adversary will allow bad things to happen over and over again in order to get your mind off Jesus. Think about that. How many of us have our mind on our problem? How many of us have thought about something outside of our control? Another weapon that the devil used. He will use keep things on our mind, allow bad things to happen over and over again so that we can forget about keep our minds off Jesus. He do all he can to separate us from the source of life. But you will see in our sermon today, and all that happened to Job, he didn't forget about God. Church, I'm guilty. I've been there. Sometimes I forgot about God. There's some times I tried to do it myself. There's some times I just didn't think about it. I just went straight out the bat and tried to do this, tried to try that. And all that Job went through, he didn't forget about God. And this is one of the greatest examples of the Bible. Retaining to when bad things happen, when bad things keep happening, Job say keep trusting. When bad things keep happening, Job say keep believing. Keep expecting that whatever it is, whomever it is, that too shall pass. Job is a celebration to me. Speaking, I remember my first sermon that Job is a reminder that Satan felt he had everything in order. And right now he's all over. Make you wonder if he don't feel he has everything in order right now. He's busy to and fro, doing things at places you never thought he would be. Reminded that he had all weapons in place. But surely he had come to a place of rest. And God told him, God asked him a question. Have you tried my servant Job? Satan said, I've been all over the world. I've been up and down. I've been to and fro. And I'm going to come rest now because it looks like everybody is doing, just the majority of them is doing what I need them to do. Act like I need them to act. And so he came up one day when the angels and God was meeting, and he showed up, and God asked him where did he come from. He told him, I've been down in the world. And he says, and then God asked him a question. Have you tried my servant Job? Can God say that about you? Have you tried my, whatever your name is? Have you tried sister so-and-so? Have you tried brother? Have you tried pastor so-and-so? Have you tried deacon so-and-so? Have you tried this family over here? He asked him, have you tried Job? And then Satan had a question to God. And he replied back to God. He said, the only reason Job is so good to you, and the only reason he is loyal to you, and the only reason he's upright is because of what you are giving him. Satan replied to God. He replied with a question. Do you think that Job served you for nothing? My. Did Job fear you for nothing? I wonder what Satan will tell God about you. I wonder what Satan will tell God about me. If God asks, have you tried my servant? Have you tried my sister? Have you tried my brother? Have you tried that mother? Have you tried that father, that grandparent? I wonder what Satan will say about them today. Not meddling, just asking the question. Job asked the question, so I was just asking the question. One thing is certain, he told God, Job love you because all the things you have given him, for certainly God has been good to us. That me giving you many good things. God has done a lot of things in my life. He told him, he said, he's only good to you because you have given him this, because you have placed a hedge around him to protect him. Haven't God kept a hedge around us? Been a lot going on, but God has kept us from hurt, harm, and danger. Talked about you have given him the increase. Haven't God given us increase? Now God, God said, now God, if you want to see how much Job loved you, allow me the opportunity to enter to his life. Allow me the opportunity to let me tempt him. Allow me the opportunity to let me try him. He hasn't been tried till he's been tried by me, old Satan. That's what Satan said unto God. And church, you know what happens when Satan comes into our life. Bad things certain began to happen. That's why you heard me read in verse 16 through 18. And while he was yet speaking, this happened. And while he was yet speaking, not only do bad things happen, but as long as Satan is in our life, bad things will keep on happening over and over again. Nothing good come from him. Nothing good come through him. When Satan came into Job's life, things began to happen over and over again. Not things, but bad things began to happen. Job began to lose things, began to lose merchandise, cattle, camels, homes. He lost a lot of things. The Bible says he began to also lose his family. Bad things happen over and over again. But I ask you to remember that one text. Good things God might be doing when bad things are happening in your life. Things began to be taken away from Job. You know the story. While he was still speaking, something else happened. And God blessed one thing, another thing was already brewing up. And this is Satan's job, going to and fro, bringing trouble after trouble after trouble. But even in the midst of trouble, we can't forget about God. There's one thing that stand out in Job's life. He held on to his faith in God. He kept trusting God. He believed in God. The Bible tells us one bad thing after another. It came like a flood. It came like a whirlwind, quick and fast. Not only quick and fast, but it came with destruction. But he did not forget about God. And all that he lost and all that he went through, he did not forget about God. Job knew and had a feeling that good things God might be doing when bad things happen. His blessings, his business was destroyed. He lost the animals. Bible say he lost his servants. The Bible say he even lost his children. His wife walked out on him. His wife encouraged him, why don't you just go ahead and curse God and die? His wife turned his back on him. Not only that, Job became ill. He became so ill that he couldn't work. You know what his friends told him? His friends turned their back on him. His friends told him, asked him about what have he done? Job, you must have done something wrong. Friends turned their back on him. All that Job went through, all those that forsaken him, all of those that he loved. Remember I said Satan will use those that you love. Even all those he loved turned their back on him. Job kept his faith in God. Job knew that regardless of the troubles that came his way, he wasn't turning his back on God. Job knew that the more you go through, the closer you should get to God. The more you go through, it's like a magnet just should draw you closer and closer to God. More that's happening, the more things that's going on, the more it should draw you closer and closer to God. Job's faith was so strong that in the midst of his trouble, not after his troubles had passed, but in the midst of his trouble, while his troubles was in the midst, was coming about, Job said these words, though God slay me, yet will I trust him. Double lines again. In the midst of his trouble, Job said, though God slay me, yet will I trust him. He knew that good things God might be doing when bad things was happening. He knew, and we need to know, that as long as we got Jesus on our side, everything is going to be all right. May look bad, may look grim, may look like there's no end, may look like it's going to never stop, may look like it's just going to bring you down, there's no turning around. But as long as you got Jesus on your side, everything is going to be all right. Even when bad things keep happening over and over again, as long as you got Jesus on your side, everything is going to be all right. God wants you to know that Jesus is your answer to all of your problems of the day. But surely there's a lot going on in the world, a lot going on in high places, a lot going on in leaders of high choices. But he is the answer to all your problems of the day. For surely bad things will happen. Sometimes they will happen over and over again. But James says, think it not strange. For surely these fiery darts will come. But you can count it all joy. You can count it joy knowing that victory belongs to you. You can count it all joy knowing that as long as you got Jesus on your side, great is he that is in you than he that's in the world. With Jesus on your side, there's nothing too hard for him. Trouble may come, but God can assure you it will be followed with a blessing. Trials may come, but God has told you it will be followed with a blessing. Storms may come, tribulations may come, trouble and bad things will happen over and over again, but God has assured us today they'll be followed with blessing after blessing. This morning, church, God is telling us today, when bad things happen, good things might be going. God may be doing good things in your life. God may want to show you his power in healing. Somebody's hurting right now. Somebody's going through something right now. Somebody's suffering through something. But you need to know that that's just a bad thing. And the first instinct for us to think about, oh, it's a bad thing. Oh, I hate to see him go through that. But lift up your eyes to the hills from which cometh your help, that God may be wanting to show you his power in healing. Also, God may be making you a stronger Christian than you're going through. God may be making you a stronger person. The Bible says in Romans, we need to rejoice. We need to rejoice in our suffering, knowing that our suffering produces endurance, produces character, and character produces hope. Then God may be teaching us how to rely on him. You're going through some things. Who did you grab hold on to? What are you holding on to? Who are you holding on to? Is it Jesus? God may be allowing those bad things to happen because he's wanting you to rely on him. And then the fourth thing, when bad things keep happening, God may be equipping us to comfort others. God may be making us stronger, so that we may be able to help somebody else along the way. Help those which are afflicted. Help those, comfort those that are without. Help comfort those that are by themselves. We had bad things keep happening in our life. Just know there are some good things that God may be doing when bad things keep happening. I pray and trust you've gotten a thought out of God's message today. I know it's an inspiration to me when you look at all the things that's going on in the world, when you hear about all the things, that's going on to the world. We need to hear this message that when bad things keep happening, God is still in total control. When bad things keep happening, God can turn it into good. We pray and trust that, as I always say, a blessing isn't a blessing till you share it with someone else. Pray and trust you will not hide this word in your heart, but you will share it with someone else, because someone other than you, someone other than me, need to hear these words today. I pray that God will continue to bless you, not only you, but you and your family, not only this day, but the days to come. May God continue to bless you and yours. God bless you.